Hey, how's it going? I'm Boots from WSTR. We're currently on tour with Grayscale, Hot Mulligan and Lurk, and today we're in Palatine near Chicago. I've decided I'm going to do a bit of cooking for you. I'm going to make classic, sounds stupid, packet ramen, but I'm going to spice it up a little bit. I do a lot of cooking at home. We have got a nice little setup here, so I'm going to give it a go. Normal packet ramen, but spice it up with a little bit of onions, garlic, some other spices, and see how it goes. The reason I'm doing packet ramen is because most bands like us are always living on a budget. I've got a whole box of this for like 24 packs for something like $2. So super cheap, super easy to make, but like I said, spice it up a little bit, makes it a little bit more exciting. Quick, easy to make basically. So I got just white onion, doing it with a really crappy knife that we bought from Walmart. Normally at home, if I'm cutting stuff when I'm cooking, I like to have like a big chopping knife, but like I said, on a budget, we got a pack of these for like 80 cents or something. We've got a visitor, Anthony's coming on. I'm probably going to give this to Anthony after, to be honest. It's vegetarian, by the way, this one. Chicken flavoured noodles, but no meat in them. Anthony's also been living off packet ramen, but he doesn't spice his up because he's boring. So, not going to use the whole onion for this one because that's a lot, but I'm thinking that I might get criticised for my chopping skills on this, to be honest, because I do like to call myself a bit of a cook, but I'm definitely not a professional, and I like improvising, so I don't really follow recipes. I just go for it and see how it comes out. But when I'm cutting my onions, sometimes if I'm like making a curry, I'll dice them up really thin, but when I'm doing the ramen, I like to have them like stringy, so I leave them sort of like that, to be honest. And I like a little bit of chunk as well, so I just leave them like that. Super easy, half an onion, put that away in our fridge. Currently full of beer. To be honest, this tour we haven't actually drunk that much. This all belongs to Hot Mulligan. That's Tade from Hot Mulligan's beer. We're storing that for him because they're touring in a van this time. So got two. See, I never know, right? Is this a clove of garlic or is the whole thing a clove of garlic? I'm never sure, but I'm going to call it a clove of garlic. Already cut the ends off. What I do with my garlic, I always used to just like chop it up really finely, but my mum told me a trick. What you do, if you've got a good palette knife, you literally do that and then squash it, and it squashes down like that and it's easier. So good trick if you want to try that at home, like that. And then I just go for it with a knife like this. I don't actually have any salt with me, but apparently the best way to do is to cover it in salt and do this, or if I'm at home and I've got a pestle and mortar, I'll get it in there and crush it up, and then just to get it really fine, just to apparently gets the most flavour out. But I literally just get the knife like that, squash it down, small as I can. Most dishes I make at home always end up, well, starting with onions and garlic. And to be honest, I make like a lot of Mexican and Indian food, and no matter what I make, it always seems to end up being a curry somehow. But right, so we got vegetable oil, bit of that in our saucepan. I'd normally use a frying pan if I was doing this, but because we're making the ramen, I'm gonna have to put water in it. I just found it easier and a bit keeping it clean, do it in a deeper one. Probably put a little bit more in there. How do you measure oil?
Like
I don't
tablespoons?
know. 2 tablespoons maybe. Absolutely no idea. Like I say, don't follow measurements at all. I just go for it. And looks like I've got a bit of onion skin in the pan there already, so it's going well so far. There you go. Who doesn't love a bit of skin? I'll let that oil heat up for a bit. Oh, I can chop my tomatoes actually. Whilst we're doing that, it's getting hot already. Where I live, we've only got like electric hobs, and they're really bad and really slow, and it takes me like 10 minutes to fry an egg. So this rig on our RV is actually nicer to cook on. Cooking on gas, it's good. That was an unintentional pun, by the way. So I just like chop my tomatoes up quite finely. Please no one judge me. Like I said, I like cooking, do it for myself, passes time, but I'm definitely not a professional. I reckon that's hot enough to get the onions in. We've got some somewhere here. Wooden spoon. I actually was repairing someone's guitar the other day and ended up, I needed like matchsticks, but I didn't have any matchsticks, so I carved some wood off the spoon with that knife to plug up some holes so that it's getting multi-use out of it. So like I said, I like to keep these onions big because they end up being stringy, and I like fry them for a few minutes until they start to go golden brown. I always used to like just put the garlic straight in with it, but I've found out recently after watching some cooking videos that if you do that you end up burning the garlic, so I'm not going to do that. I don't think I've ever cooked on camera before. I reckon I might mess this up under the pressure. I like to get them when I see them going golden brown, like a little bit. Oh, that's another bit of skin, but that's fine. A little bit golden brown before I put the garlic and the spices in, so like that so they look quite soft. That's what I think you should do anyway. I do most of on my Facebook at home is just, I only use Facebook to keep up with family and friends really. I use Instagram for everything else, but all my videos on Facebook that I watch are just all like tasty, people like that. Love watching cooking videws. I often like find myself sitting up at night just looking how like certain foods are made and stuff and just watching videos on that. Quite boring, but it's a passion of mine. Music and food, my two favourite things I think. They look alright so far, so I'm going to whack my onions, my garlic in. Already got the onions in. Oh, and the tomatoes made it in as well, that's fine. Also found out recently that as well as this hole being to hang the board up, apparently it's designed so you can push the food in without it going everywhere as well. Don't know if it's true or not, don't know if it's a coincidence, but that's what I think anyway. So like I'll fry the onions and garlic for a few minutes, and I'll get my spices ready. Normally when I'm at home I've got like my brother bought me a big Indian spice dish. It's like a big bowl like that, and it's got little bowls inside with loads of different spices, but again, living on a budget and the fact that everyone has their own cupboard and limited space, got some paprika, curry powder, and then also, as most of you know who've eaten packet ramen, there's a little spice dish in here, a spice sachet in here. There's me making some mess. Sammy's not going to be happy with me. Some more spices in there, which is curry flavour, probably exactly the same as that, but you know. So what I'll do is whack that in there, get some paprika in there, quite a bit, probably far too much. Like I said, never follow ingredients. Whenever I'm like looking at, like if I do look at like a recipe online, it's like, oh, 1 tablespoon of chili powder. I'm like, nah, just chuck it in until I feel like it. So then I've always read that you're only supposed to, as they call, like dry fry, sort of dry fry spices like for a couple of minutes, otherwise you can burn the spices. I'm going to turn the hood on because otherwise I'm going to set the fire alarm off, because apparently burning the spices is the worst possible thing to do. So the way to do that, I've learned, let it do it until it gets fragrant, and then you get a little bit of water, put the water in, and then that stops you burning the spices. So I'll do that, put my tomatoes in, a bit of ramen there as well. We actually call these super noodles at home, and I remember like tweeting about how poor I was about eating super noodles, and everyone in America was like, what the hell are super noodles? And I was like, noodles, like, and they were like, it's called ramen. And I've always like considered ramen to be like if you go to somewhere like Wagamama or like an actual noodle shop. I didn't realise that was even ramen, but apparently so, and I was put in my place with that. Right, so once that's all got going, I like the tomatoes starting to look soft, I'll just get the packet ramen open, split it in half, or in 3, and I'll just get some more water and then fill it up. What I realise I have forgotten is my chilies. I normally put chilies in, but so what I'll do today is I'll cut some of them up and put them in afterwards. Because where we are currently, we're in like the colder climates, we're actually having to wash up and do everything with bottled water. When we first started the tour, a couple of weeks in, we had like the shower working, we had the taps working, but because it's like in Celsius here, I think it's like minus 15, minus 10, and then it's like 14 degrees Fahrenheit here. like super cold, so the pipes basically freeze. So you have to like wash up with bottled water, obviously drink it, but we store it all here. We try and not buy it, to be honest, because we get it from the venues most days. But it goes like super quick. We all drink a lot of water, and we also make a lot of tea. This is like the best thing that came with our RV. They gave us a kettle. They must have known we were British, because we literally drink tea all day long. Probably 10, 12 cups a day, some of us. Sammy especially. Sammy and Alex love their tea. It's a very British thing. So I'll get this going, try and break it up a little bit. I did actually, I'm going to admit, I did actually nearly set the RV on fire 2 days ago. Like, Sammy is very picky about being clean on here, which is absolutely fair enough. Like, he has done a really good job of keeping the place clean. And I'd got like a little bit of sauce on here. I was like, shit, I need to clean up before Sammy sees it. So rather than using like a wipe, like a wet wipe, I used a bit of paper towel, and I was cleaning around here and it caught fire. Sammy was sitting there and they were like just having a normal conversation, and I was like, shit, 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 and I was running around with this piece of paper on fire, and it was snowing, and I just booted the door open, threw the paper out, and was like stamping it out outside. Like I say, a bit of a disaster, but the noodles still came out alright, so it's... But yeah, starting to get soft. I'll mix them about. I think this pan isn't entirely clean as well, to be honest. I started cooking today and it looked like there was some pasta stuck on the bottom. Alex loves to make pasta and spaghetti and stuff, but we have a little bit of banter going on about our cooking. I don't think he's a very, very good cook. He makes, do you know what, he's made me a very good fry up before, good omelette, but yeah, sticking stuff to the pan seems to be his favourite thing to do, to be honest. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get some of the chilies out for after. So I always get stick for this as well about the fridge being messy. So what I've tried to do here, I bought a tin of jalapenos, and I've like put them in a bag and in a bowl so the juices don't go everywhere, so I don't get moaned at. Turn that heat down. But yeah, went to In-N-Out, one of my favourite burger joints. Got some of these as well because they do in the bags. So I'm going to chop a couple of them up and a couple of the jalapenos. Put them on top. I would normally fry them in there, but like I said, I did actually forget. So I just cut the end off. These are actually really like seedy, these ones. And as most people probably know, the seeds are the hottest part. So I never like de-seed my chilies. I like my spicy food, eat a lot of spicy food. So I try and get all the seeds in there. And I try and like not dice them too small either, because I like to have like that chunk of the chili. I wish I had good knives, but Sammy and me were having a joke the other day, because I did actually have, before I was in the band, I had like an Instagram page for my food, like, because I'm a big foodie. It was called Bites with Boots, and I don't use it anymore.
This is meant to be for WSTR, and I knew if he did it on his own, he's whoring it for Bites with Boots.
Right, so Bites with Boots, Bites with Boots was shut down, okay, and forgotten about.
It wasn't, I've never forgotten it.
But Sammy's trying to bring it back. He's been like tagging the Bites with Boots account in it, and now I've been getting followers, so I'm like debating bringing it back. But so the noodles are starting to get soft there, so I'm just going to leave them for a bit. Turn the heat right down just so like the sauce thickens. And what I'm actually going to do, which is not very conventional,
just for Bites with Boots.
Yeah. I've got some cheese as well. It's hot jalapeno and habanero cheese, spicy again, of course. I'm going to put that in there and like thicken the sauce a bit. I know ramen and cheese doesn't seem very conventional, but we'll put some in anyway. Get that melting. Oh, do you know what else I forgot to do? I've got an egg sitting on the side there. I normally put that in. So what I'm going to do, this is all getting, it's a bit of a catastrophe. It's looking good though. I'm just going to mix this in, break the egg in and stir it up and boil it again so it'll get in. So I think that's the right thing to do. Egg and ramen, they seem to go well together. I tried to boil an egg yesterday here. I don't normally boil eggs. I normally fry them or scramble them or make omelettes, and it didn't work out very well, to be honest. So I'm just going to crack that egg all over the cooker. There we go, exactly what we want. Get that in there, and then fork somewhere. Like I said, love cooking, but I am a bit messy. turn that. Is that heat still on? Oh look, the cooker's gone off. Fantastic. How long has that been off for? These hobs don't like to stay on, to be honest. So mix that in. There we go. It's got good colour now. Do you know what? I'm just going to whack those chilies in as well. I was going to put them in the end, but I changed my mind. You can see that the sauce has like changed colour quite a bit now. It's got that cheesy look to it. There we go. Boiling again. Something smells like it's burning, but that's fine. Normally, when I cook in here, the fire alarm goes off. 9 times out of 10, it hasn't yet. I've got the hood on, so. Oh, it's probably that egg burning, isn't it? That I've just spilt on there, to be honest. You gonna share this with me, Sam? Spicy ramen. Veggie as well. Oh, I'm not. No, I don't know what you mean. Right, so this is. I don't know if we should talk about this. I might get some stick for this.
You're definitely. It's too late.
So, all right. Do you want to tell the story about the Bites with Boots post, or shall I?
Yeah.
So when I started Bites with Boots, I ate meat, and then when I went vegetarian, I'd been done it for a few months. Alex is a vegetarian as well, so everyone was like, "Yeah, Boots has gone vegetarian." I'd put this post up, and I basically, you're storing it as well. Put a post up basically saying, it may surprise some of you to know that as a big meat eater, I have turned vegetarian. Not trying to be preachy, just to let you know that you might see a few more vegetarian posts on here. Anyway, on our first US tour, came over here, doing it so well, I broke vegetarianism. I hadn't cheated at all. It was a really late night. Sammy and I had walked to a Walmart from the hotel we were in. I'm just going to turn this down again. And we got to this Walmart, and it was like a wholesale Walmart. It wasn't like it didn't have any fresh food. So we went to this IHOP, and like he was like, "Boots, just get some meat." And I was like, "No, I can't do it." We were both quite drunk. Anyway, I ended up getting a turkey wrap. He was like, "Listen, I'm not going to tell anyone. Just do it, enjoy it. You know you want it." I was like, "No, I can't." And I was eating it, like, didn't feel good about it. He goes, "Not telling anyone, don't worry."
Loved it.
Next day, it was whilst we were on tour with, I better keep an eye on this, on tour with Neck Deep. I'm standing next to Sam from Neck Deep, who's vegan. Sammy's drunk and he just goes, "Boots ate turkey!" Sam turns to me and just looks at me like, "You're a piece of shit." I was like, for fuck's sake. So ever since then, it just went downhill. I was kind of struggling being a vegetarian in America, like driving through Texas, like gas station, trying to be healthy on tour. The healthy options seemed to be like a chicken sandwich, where the vegetarian option was like potato chips, and I didn't want to live off potato chips. So yeah, if you're gonna give me stick for it, I'm sorry, I'm bad, I'm a bad person, but I do still try and eat. So this is fully vegetarian, apart from the egg, that makes it not vegan. Still enjoy going out and eating vegan junk food, but yes, I do eat meat again, and I'm sorry. Right, this is done, I think. So, gonna get a bowl. Our classic paper bowls. We live off, all of our stuff is like styrofoam, paper, like we get it all from Walmart. We go through so many cups. Like we try and like reuse them to sort of be, you know, a bit environmentally friendly, but it's pretty hard. They don't last too many times. Like I said, we drink a lot of tea. Right, let's see if I can get this in here without making a mess. There we go. So, we've got my vegetarian ramen, packet ramen, but spiced up a little bit. There was me having a go at Alex about burning stuff on the bottom of the pan. Looks like I've done exactly the same. So what I do then, got it in the bowl, finish it off with some sriracha, which is a staple in most ramen places I've seen. Put some of that on it. Boom, there it is. Vegetarian ramen, spiced up, Bites with Boots style. Thanks for watching me make my vegetarian ramen, spicy ramen, spiced up a little bit, Boots style, Bites with Boots style. If you want to check out Bites with Boots, seeing as though it is back now apparently, it's Bites with Boots on Instagram, but also WSTR.com, everything's WSTR on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, be great. We'll hopefully have some new music coming out pretty soon for you guys, so check that out. Yeah, thanks for watching. If you want any more tips on this fantastic dish, let me know. Amazing.